If you've lived in the enlisted barracks and therefore believe yourself immune to coronavirus and all other manner of disease, hit that like and subscribe button. My name's Daniel Lehman, and I'm answering all your VA Homeland questions. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite topics ever, the concept of house hacking. If you're not VA, house hacking works for conventional and it works for FHA, but specifically today, we're talking about VA house hacking, and I've got a doozy of a example for you. So the concept of VA house hacking is the means by which you occupy a property, you purchase it using your VA, because the best way to purchase any property in terms of terms and in terms of need for down payment and flexibility, best rates and everything is as an owner occupied property. It kind of goes owner occupied, then second home, and then investment property can get really cumbersome. That's when you really have an increase in rates and an increase in down payment requirements and that kind of thing. VA, you can't even do owner occupied on, or a non-owner occupied investment property on the purchase, but we won't get into that. I want to show you an example of a house hacking situation that I just kind of came across. And I want to show you in the format of a veteran or a military family or something like that buying a condo or looking at a multi-unit. So let's dip into that real quick. Okay, this is the first property that I just pulled up randomly. This is Vine Street in Oceanside. Hopefully whoever the listing agent is doesn't get mad at me for using it. But let me give you the specs real quick. It's $330, call it $340,000. It's one bedroom, one bath. It's got a, it's, what was it, like 500 and something square, 525 square feet. It's a condo. So it's $276 a month for the HOA. Nice spot, you know, good deal. All right, in Oceanside as well, the second thing that I wanted to show you was this place. This is Garfield in Oceanside. The purchase price is $895. So some of you are saying, wait a minute, what the heck's going on here? But a house hack is living in one unit and renting out other units. So this is actually a triplex. So this is, and I can dip through the photos or something, but this is a triplex. Purchase price is $895. And it has some specifics, which I'll jump back to on kind of rents and size and stuff like that. So off the bat, what I want to do is I want to show you the payment numbers on each. So here's your condo, here's your triplex. Pretend I got a young family or a young Marine or a veteran or something like that who's looking at purchasing a property. Let's look at their two options. Generally, they're speaking about like, well, look, based on my income, I wouldn't qualify for much more than this. Therefore, I'm looking at this condo range. They typically wouldn't be even looking in the $900,000 range. But let's look at the numbers and we'll, and hopefully this shows you kind of how a house hack works. Okay, so I basically just threw the numbers on this really ugly PowerPoint, but hopefully this will run it through. So the condo that we looked at is first. $340 purchase price. It was a 525 square foot, one bedroom, one bath, and it had a $276 per month HOA. With VA, what you require when you purchase a condo is condo approval. So a lot of times what ends up happening is you have to either look at VA condos that are already approved or we have to get them approved. But if I use just some basic numbers for today, 1433 PI, principal and interest, that's your mortgage payment. 354 for taxes. I'm using 1.25%. We can dig into all this stuff at some other point. Just trust me on all this. $50 a month insurance, and then $276 per month for that HOA that we talked about. So the total on this condo is $2113 per month, to which you're thinking, okay, not too shabby. My BAH is this, my BH is that. That's not bad. Let's look at the triplex. Okay. $895 purchase price. In lieu of a 525 square foot, you've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house plus, and I think that was around 1,500 square feet, plus 2 1-bedroom, 1-bath studios or condos or whatever they are, the little units. They were only 400 square feet a piece, but you've got no HOA. And because it's a multi-unit and you're not in a condo association or homeowners association, it doesn't require VA condo approval. So there's no other approval steps. If you look at the payment, your payment at 3% in this case is $37.73, pretty significantly higher. $932 a month is your tax payment, again, significantly higher. $150 a month insurance. You got 3 units instead of like your one small condo with the HOA covering some of the insurance, but there is no HOA. So the difference here is $2113 all the way up to almost $5,000, which is spendy, I will admit. So condo payment $2113, triplex payment $4855. On the surface, that looks pretty ugly, but you've got some rents that are listed on those units. The house, the 3-bedroom, 2-bath would rent for $2,800 per month. The second units, the second and third unit, the 400 square foot in Oceanside on this property are stated in the listing as renting for $1,595. So you'd want to verify all this stuff. But if we're using what the listing says, here's what the total rents would be. If you were to live in the house, $1,595 plus $1,595 is $3,190 in total rental income. So even though you would be paying $48.55 per month gross, if you were making that rent, you would make $3,190, live in the third unit, and make a payment of $1,655. If you were to rough it and live in the small unit, if it was just you and a spouse or just you or whatever the situation is, if you were to live in the small unit, $2,800 plus $1,595 is $4,395. So your total monthly payment after principal and interest, taxes and insurance and all that, obviously you want to have some reserves for emergencies, and on bigger properties, you want to have more of a cash reserve. So you want to be really careful still. But your net payment would be $460 a month. A couple of things real quick. Number one, you may be thinking, well, I wouldn't qualify for the $48.55 per month payment, but in lending and in VA lending, like any other loan programs that you do, if these units are separately metered, meaning they're actual separate units, which they are, you can use rental income to qualify alongside your income. So you're not using the same income as you would have been just with your LES or with your W-2s or whatever that situation is. We can give you 75% of the total gross rents to offset the payment and help you qualify. So it's not uncommon for people who qualify for a 400 condo to qualify for a multi-unit that's much bigger because they have more usable income. Now, and the other thing, which goes without saying, is VA is for owner-occupied only on the purchase side. So you cannot buy rental properties, but the fact that you live in one of the units satisfies the owner occupancy requirement. So that in essence is the house hack. That's how you live in one, rent out the others, and end up with a much bigger control of a much bigger property and potentially a much lower net payment, which is a massive win-win. So, and I randomly just pulled these listings up. They're live now. So it's not like it doesn't happen or the opportunity doesn't present itself. Now, what if you were to deploy or have a PCS move? If I'm looking at that condo, I can rent it out, but I'm unlikely sometimes to make that up unless the rents have improved quite a bit. But if I deploy or I PCS move, $2,800 for the house, $1,595 and $5,995 is $5,990 total per month. Nothing. You're supposed to intend to owner occupy the property, and that makes sense. But if you deploy PCS move, there's nothing stopping you from renting all 3 units. If you rented all 3 units, you would be stepping into $1,135 per month in positive cash flow. If you were smart, you'd probably have a property manager and you'd handle and you'd have to factor in a couple of other expenses, but that is massive. Imagine living for $460 a month while you're at Camp Pendleton and then leaving and having $135 in $1,135 in passive income. That is insane. The other element of it is if you look at the asset that you're controlling, 5% appreciation on $340,000. Let's say the area improves 5%. The first year is 17,000 on 340,000. It's almost 45,000 on 895. So your net worth is improving and going up as well, just on the economy of scale, the fact that you're controlling more property. Look, it also falls that quick too. So you got to be careful. I'm not telling you to take out adjustable loans or be risky, or make sure that you're safe. But the other question that I'm sure I would get is, on $895,000, wouldn't I need a down payment? As of 2020, VA does not require down payments if you have 100% of your not service connected disability. If you have 100% of your VA eligibility, your home loan eligibility available. In other words, if you don't have another property with a VA loan on it, you are not required to put a down payment, and there's no loan limit to that as long as you qualify for the loan. And then on top of that, you got tax benefits and all that other stuff. So from my standpoint, that's the power of a VA house hacking situation. California is actually a really hard place, which is why I was surprised I found in an Oceanside where we're here. It can be a really hard place to do house hacking. It's very competitive, and it could be potentially competitive on this particular property. But make sure that you understand your options, because this particular person could, or this hypothetical person that I made up in my head, could be hypothetically looking at a condo for $340,000 with a payment of $2,200 a month, or they can control a $900,000 asset and net payment of $400 and something a month, and then positive cash flow if they were to PCS or whatever the situation is. If you have any questions about any of that stuff, or if you want to kind of run through or get pre-approved so that you are ready, and if you're looking for that kind of thing, it may be too early to buy, and as you're looking for your opportunities, but it's never too early to plan. Make sure you get your plan in place early, and that's what we do. So let us know what we can help with. And that is all. Talk to you guys later.